and 2 people have died of influenza caused by the H3N2 virus. One person died in Haryana, the other in Karnataka. An 82-year-old man in Karnataka's Hassan is believed to be the first to have died of H3N2. Hiregowda was admitted to hospital on February 24th and died on 1st of March. He had comorbidities, he was diabetic and suffered from hypertension. The second person was a Haryana patient who was a 56-year-old lung cancer patient who had tested positive for H3N2 in January but died on Wednesday. Now, the Union Health Ministry is keeping a close watch on the seasonal influenza situation. A meeting was held. The ministry said that they're closely tracking morbidity and mortality due to H3N2. The ministry also said that cases are expected to decline by March end when the flu season will finally abate. Well, to talk more about this, we're joined by Dr. Randeep Guleria, Chairman, Institute of Internal Medicine, Respiratory and Sleep Medicine, Medanta. Thank you, sir, and always great to have you on the program with us, to guide us through this latest, point of worry for everyone. First and foremost, why does it seem that the flu season is more severe this time around? Even if not H3N2, so many people have coughs or viral fever which just seem to linger.
Yes, so I think we're seeing a lot of influenza-related infection, and I think there are 3 or 4 causes for that. One cause is that, for the last 2 years, we've been following a lot of COVID-appropriate behavior in terms of physical distancing, wearing a mask, washing our hands, and that has helped us or protected us from a lot of viral infections. But that has all gone, and now we are therefore exposed to respiratory viral infections. This is the time of the year when the weather is changing, and data even from the past, from ICMR and the flu network, does tend to suggest that there is more influenza in tropical countries during this time of the year. Thirdly, I think what has happened is that because of COVID being there for the last 2 to 3 years, we haven't had a lot of influenza infection in the general population for the last few years. And therefore, our, let's say, general immunity against influenza has become less in the population, and therefore we are more vulnerable, if I put it that way, to getting the infection now, because influenza has not been there as a dominant viral circulating virus because of COVID. And now there's been the H3N2, which has come in as a variant from the past, and that all of this has actually contributed to a surge in the number of cases. But unlike COVID, because influenza has been there for quite some time, the majority of cases that we're seeing are having more of fever, cough, body aches, rather than having severe infection requiring hospitalization.
Right, sir. And these 2 cases in which tragically the deaths took place were patients with comorbidities. Again, there's also a vaccine. There's that yearly influenza vaccine that one can take, but that is very expensive, isn't it?
So we have an annual influenza vaccine, which covers 4 strains, 2 influenza A and 2 influenza B strains, a quadrivalent vaccine, which will give protection against H3N2 and also against H1N1, which was swine flu, which was the previously circulating strain which caused the swine flu or the influenza pandemic in 2009 and 2010. Therefore, I think for the high-risk group, the elderly, those with comorbidities, they should get themselves vaccinated every year. And we also have antiviral drugs, oseltamivir, which was popularly known as Tamiflu, which is also available as a treatment strategy for patients who suffer from influenza. I would say that if you have flu-like symptoms, don't only think of COVID, get your influenza test also done. And if you're in the high-risk group, it's better to consult your doctor and start some treatment in the form of antivirals and supportive treatment rather than letting it linger on and have more problems.
All right, sir. And your, advice to viewers who may be very concerned or slightly panicked even with the news of these 2 deaths?
So I would say there's no need to panic. By and large, this is a mild disease. It causes a lot of symptoms in terms of fever, body ache, nausea, vomiting, headache. A lot of patients complain of persisting cough even after they become all right, which lasts for a few weeks. And backache is something that patients do tend to see. But normally, usually by 7 to 10 days, most people recover. The high-risk group and the elderly need to be careful, and they need to worry because in them, it can lead to influenza pneumonia, which can lead to a fall in saturation. And if they have comorbidities, then they have a higher chance of having more severe disease.
All right, so thank you so much as always for speaking to us and, bringing clarity to this entire matter. And as the ministry said that the flu season is expected to abate by the end of March. Thank you for joining us.